Abzu is another one of those little narrative story indie games. 20 bucks, it's on PS4, PC, and I assume Xbox One. It's basically Journey underwater, if you've ever seen that. It's not done by the same studio, but it's composed by the same guy, and a lot of the same people worked on it. And here I am, just praying for these indie games to stop being garbage. Abzu is one of those little experiences. There's no dialogue, it's just a bunch of music and a bunch of visuals, and there isn't really any gameplay or input. It's just you going through, seeing some stuff, activate this thing, activate that thing, continue through. Very simple game. It runs in 30 frames per second, which is downright inexcusable for these dinky little indie games. And your graphics are that simple and stylized, you better hit 60, and it does not. It's hard to get immersed and drawn into a world that's running at 30 frames per second. It's like a stuttery effing slideshow. The loading screens are super ass long. Two graphical positives is that there's a lot of fish on screen and it doesn't really slow down the frame rate any more than it already is. But you know, they're all like super ass simple two-dimensional fish. And also, the only gameplay in the game is that you have to, like, oh, this door's locked. You have to go unhook this chain and unhook this chain, so they're, like, loose and the door can open. It's the same thing every time. You just gotta go do the two chains. And when you do that, the chain physics are actually kind of good. Like, they're individual chain links that, like, fall and move with gravity as opposed to just one little string. But the game's under 2 hours long and I hard crashed once, so it's not winning any technical awards there. Like, the sole thing Abzu is trying to accomplish, does it accomplish? Well, yeah, the game is very pretty. The game is at times gorgeous. There's lots of blues and oranges and pink, and it's the sea and there's fish, and that's kind of it. I think it's a very visually unique game. I think it's very fun to look at. And the music is gorgeous. It's the same guy who composed the award-winning score for Journey. And it's very, very relaxing. It's just very, very soothing. It's one of those little games. And because the game is pretty and because the game has nice music, the game thinks it can just completely ignore everything else. My God, controls. Okay. You know what? You don't actually have to have gameplay. You don't, okay? If you just want to move through an environment and look around at stuff, I can do that. Okay, fine. As long as your story's good, your visuals are immersive, and there's a cool soundtrack, that's good enough for me. But for f***'s sake, if your controls aren't going to provide gameplay challenge, at least don't make them hinder getting through the game. It starts you off with everything inverted, so just go in the menu and fix that like a normal person. The game is just so slow and unresponsive. You can give me some bullshit about how it's underwater and it's supposed to feel like that, and if you honestly believe that is a good excuse for shitty movement in your mind, the dislike button is right there. Goodbye. Fuck off. Dumbass piece of shit. So I'm gonna be here for fucking ever because I have to explain the control scheme and tell you all the problems with it. So it's a three-dimensional space where you need to go up and down, but it's a two-dimensional movement scheme. If you steer too far up, you don't go up, you flip in a circle. And it just spins you back around and faces you towards the camera. Same thing if you go down. The game does not have a way of moving straight up or straight down. So you hold down right trigger and you steer left and right with the stick. Right trigger is like your go, and you don't have to push forward on the stick, you just gotta go left and right to steer. And steering left and right takes so long and it's so slow, and to move in a circle, you gotta go like, and it's just the most labored, slow, long turning radius. And you actually feel like you're a whale, like, you know, moving left and right, but you're a little dude with fins, so where's the logic in that? And so you can press X to boost, and sometimes you push it and it gives you one little boost and then you can't push it again. So half the time it's unresponsive, it does absolutely nothing. And sometimes if you push it 3 times in a row, it'll do this little boost combo, like your flippers will go like that, then like that, then whoosh, and then they'll like light up and get like a super boost. But there is no way of knowing if you'll boost or not and if you'll get the triple boost. It's completely random. If you hold down left trigger near a dolphin or a fish or something, you can ride on them and they move you faster, but they're even harder to steer, and the game actively guides you away from the objective because it doesn't want you to take an animal in the little hallway. The game says you can't go in that hole because our coding won't let the animal fit in that hole, so you have to let go and go in yourself. Go ahead, play this game start to finish, and tell me with a straight face, honestly, that you never got stuck. That's not even the worst part. Son of a bitch! Son of a bitch! So if you have the setting for inverted controls, if you just turn that off and you're going straight, when you get out of the water, when you surface on the water, the moment your head moves above the water, it inverts you again. So if your swimming is inverted, then your walking is not inverted, and if your swimming isn't inverted, then your walking is. Literally, you have to hold down on the stick to walk fucking forward. That is beyond stupid. In underwater, the movement is relative to your character, not the camera. So if your character is facing the camera and you go left, your character will turn left in relation to its character. But on the surface, or when you're walking outside the water, it's relative to the camera, not the character. So no matter which way you're facing, right's always right and left is always left. Despite the fact that the stick is backwards because you're not inverted, so it's inverted in the air because it's flip-flop what's in the air versus what's in the water. So you hold back on the stick to go forward and left on the stick to go left. So back and forth is switched, but left and right is still left and right, which is even more confusing, and you will be bumping around into shit for like an hour trying to figure out how to f***ing move. It's like they take me as a challenge. It's like, how can we make Wesley even more angry than he usually is? It's harder to do, it takes longer to do, it makes negative sense. So you had to go out of your way to come up with this shit. Oh yeah, and it does that stupid environmental storytelling bullshit, which essentially amounts to fish, good, triangle, bad. And the worst part is I have to like actively defend why it's bad because there's YouTube f***ers in the comments who think that bad controls are okay. Guys, please tell me I'm not alone out there. Tell me you're not all brainwashed by this shit, that this is okay, that you assume a game can't be that bad just because it doesn't have Sonic's name on it. Abzu is one of the worst games I have ever played and is total and complete ass shit. I'm done. I'm done. I'm so done! We see the undertow and we say, let's go!